What's up, everybody?
Hey, y'all.
As
Welcome
you can
back.
see, the players are on the court.
Oh, okay.
We on the field. We ready to go. Now, before we press play, get started, for those of you who do not know, my name is Shani.
And I'm Jackie.
And you are listening to and watching the Mocha Message.
The NFL?
Yes. Sorry, y'all. We are geek because we have on our Mocha Message jersey.
Yeah, y'all remember this from the shoot? We did a photo shoot some years ago.
Throwback, a couple years back. We did a photo shoot over by the Ben Stadium, actually.
Yep.
Really cool photo. We're going to have to post some on the gram.
Throwback.
Yeah, so y'all can see what's going on. And to continue and wrap up our season 5, we are highlighting Black-owned businesses in the metro Atlanta area. I have a great one for you guys today. If you guys are looking for any art, work, or anything like that to decorate your home with, your office, we have for you a Black-owned art space called Pop Basil. Now, Pop Basil is owned by this really cool and very friendly Black man. And we actually have used him directly to buy some pieces for our home. Nice. So we actually have a Andre 3000 piece.
That's a good one to have.
Yeah.
That's a real nice
Very, very nice. Like, he has a very cool sense of style with how he does his artwork. So you can find him on Instagram. And I believe... Now, I didn't go to the location. My fiance actually went. So we're going to have to actually pause. So he is located in the Emmett Park area. Okay. And he does have a gallery as well. So there's a lot of different Black art. There's different types of mediums, from paintings to rugs to,
that I love.
Yeah. So definitely check out Pop Basil. Tell them that the Mocha Message sent you.
Shout out to Pop Basil. So I feel like we kind of have a little theme, like an underlying theme for the season around sisterhood and friendship.
Yeah. I like that.
But something that I feel like I struggle with a little bit, or have been reaching as an obstacle as I get older, is just trying to navigate friends in different spaces. Just because I've reached the age where people are having kids, people are getting married, some people don't have kids. Like, some folks are traveling. Some people are very heavy career oriented. Other people are more family oriented. Like, some folks are all about hobbies and, activities and stuff like that. And it's just very interesting to find yourself in a space where, like, when you look at your friend group or when you look at different people in your circle, everybody's doing such vastly different things. That's true. Which I think it's dope because it's the beauty of life. Yeah. But as we always like to say, life be lifing.
It does.
Life be lifing and takes people in all different kinds of directions, whichever way. So I kind of wanted to get into what it looks like to navigate friendships in different spaces, and even to find friends too in different spaces as well.
That's important. I definitely think, to your first point of nurturing like these friendships in different life spaces, can be a little challenging, or like, it may not be like your first instinct to your first point. I think that being able to nurture your friends who are in different spaces in their life is very important, just because it may not be second nature, right? Like, my friends with kids, like, they're naturally just thinking about things that I'm not even thinking about because I don't have kids, you know what I mean? Or I, like to do certain things like hobbies and stuff like that some of my other friends, that may not be their thing. So they're not naturally thinking like how I would think, Right. So how do we kind of nurture these friendships? How do we show up for these people? How do we make sure that they're feeling supported?
Yeah.
Even if, that's just not where I'm at in life, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not something that I naturally think of or is at the forefront of my mind, I know one thing that I kind of do that I hope is important is I make sure that I'm at all of my friends with kids, like birthday parties. And stuff like that. And
that's
I'm
a good one.
Normally one of the only, because they make mom friends and like people from daycare and stuff like that. So I'm one of the only ones like, I don't even... got no little I got no little chap running around. All my Southerners, y'all know what chaps are, but
I'm crying.
But I still make sure that I show up, like just connect with the kids in that way. And I think that makes my friends who are parents feel important. And on the other hand of that, a lot of times I'll invite my friends with kids places without the kids, to give them that break of like, okay, we're parents, but that's not our only identity. Like we can still go out to the Interlock and chill. We can still mini golf with our friends and stuff like that. Yeah. So I know for somebody who kids are a little far on the horizon for me,
a little peripheral.
I see them maybe down there, but it's a little far. Like I think it's really important to make sure that for those of my friends and family who are in that journey and like, I support them. I definitely like encourage them to be the best parents that they can be. But there is a way that you can kind of still connect, even though you aren't in that place of life.
I like that. Yeah. I think as a little spin-off, something I try to do is think of things that are kid friendly. A real recent example off the top of my head is the Jazz Festival. We had invited our friend, which is a free event, which is, thank you, City of Atlanta.
That's key.
That's wild that an event that massive and that well produced is free. Yeah. But anyways, they had like a little kids corner.
Oh, cute.
And they had like blow up stuff. They had a kids tent where they were doing like instruments and putting together instruments and playing instruments and things like that. So it's cool because, the adults got to relax and watch the artists and visit the different vendors and stuff, but they also had a space for children as well. Yeah. So keeping in mind just like kid friendly spaces. And I love what you said about inviting parents out who maybe just want some time, a little bit of time away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong
Might
with
be
that.
a little overstimulated.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Get your babysitter, baby, we out on the town.
Right.
And we'll be back by 10 p.m. So put in the bed. I think another one that's pretty relevant, especially to our age right now, is having friends in different seasons of like relationships, right? Okay. So you have some friends who are married, who are newly married. You have some friends who've been married for a long time. You have some friends who are single and loving it. You have some friends who are single and a little...
maybe not so loving it.
Right, a little yearning for something else. You have long-term relationship friends. You have long-distance relationship friends. Yeah. So like...
good to keep in mind.
Yeah. How are some of the ways that we can like ensure that we're connecting with a friend no matter what season of love they may be in?
Yeah, sure. So for me, as someone who is married, depending on the setting and what's happening and what's going on, I might take it as a little disrespect if I or Beej are not invited. Yeah. So keeping in mind, like, especially if it's a formal event, like a wedding or something like that, like you can't invite one without the other. Right. But there are some instances where you maybe do want to get together with your friends that like Beej. He's not a very outside kind of person. You don't want to invite
Beej to a concert.
There you go. Don't exactly. That right there. That right there. Yeah. He's not a big fan of crowds and festivals and concerts and stuff like that. Yeah. But I am. Right. So, maybe people will invite me out like to hang out and stuff and I'll do that. But yeah, I think just keeping in mind, like, is this something that's suitable for, is it a girls only thing?
Right.
Is it something where you can mix and match couples and singles? Is it something that's, singles only or couples only? Just, being mindful of those kinds of things.
Yeah.
I think is important. Like we mix and match it all. Like there'd be times when he's out with people, like whether it's guys only, whether it's colleagues from work or whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm cool off that. You go ahead.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll go. And then there's things where it's like, well, if one of us ain't invited, then both of us ain't going.
That's facts. Yeah. So it's important to, like she said, just be kind of respectful, no matter the season that person is in, right? So I may come up with like a cute little coupley type thing. Like people can come if you're not in a relationship, but it's more couple focused. Yeah. I'll probably just invite the people who I know are couple, just so I don't have somebody feeling like, well, golly, bro.
Yeah, like, here I am. Yeah.
Lonely, Doug. But then at the same time, there are going to be times where it's just like, oh yeah, babe, we doing a girls trip to, the winery, like I'll catch you later type situation. So there's so much to do and different activities that you can cater something to every, type of friend or friend who's in a different situation. Like it doesn't have to be all just because I'm married, I'm only doing things.
Right. Only married things.
Yeah.
Only with other folks who are married. Yeah.
And I think that helps your friends also feel, still value. Like, well, she got married, but she still, will come support me for my birthday, spa date or whatever. Yeah. Like, so that's important.
I think in that same vein, we covered like people who may be in different relationship predicaments, but also people who are in different phases regarding like their career or their finances.
Ooh, speak on that.
I'm in the situation right now where I'm having to say no to a lot that I really want to do.
Yeah.
But when, you're laid off, it's like, all right, got to say no sometimes. But there's so much one of the things I love about the city of Atlanta, there's so much to do. There's so much to take advantage of. Like, sometimes you can go to a more fine dining. Sometimes you can kick back at the Interlock with a little velvet taco.
Yes.
Very affordable, very low key, casual. You can go to a high end sushi spot, or you can just go to a sushi spot, local neighborhood spot.
Right.
Near wherever you live at. But I think just being mindful of not always inviting folks to things that requires them to shell out a lot of money.
That's very true. There's a lot of free stuff you can do.
Yeah. Like my favorite, the Beltline. Completely free. Yes. Completely free. Connects right to the park.
Come on.
It's part of Ponce. If you want to grab food, you can. If not, if you want to people watch and just walk around, look at the shops, you can. Like,
so that's very true. Like there's a lot of stuff and I don't know. I feel like it would make somebody who is in a season where they're being like a lot more financially responsible. It can make them feel like left out if they only seeing you go pop bottles at the club.
Right.
Like, they start to feel like, well, golly, like I'm priced out of this friendship because I can't do it. Like, so it's definitely important to, again, just kind of get creative with the activities you're doing. Going to the Beltline is free. Hiking somewhere can be free. Yeah. Like y'all can go to the park and do your own picnic. Like bring some stuff that's low cost. Like renting bikes and biking is like $10.
Exactly.
Like you don't have to always go to like STK and drop a bag. You don't have to do that. So
for sure.
Very important. That's a good point to like just take into consideration that not everybody is in, the same financial space. Some people are just getting a huge bonus at work and some people just found out they have a child. Like you just got to be considerate and take that into consideration when you're thinking about like, hey, let's, continue to like uplift these relationships with my friends. So I think another thing that's really interesting is meeting people and kind of like creating new friendships in different spaces. And I think a lot of times for me, especially, I'm a creature of habit. And when I find something that I like
stick to it.
You know, because it's like, why risk it? Why risk it? However, how do you really expect to meet new people if you're still at the exact same restaurants, the exact same, you know, gyms all the time?
That's fair.
So there's a lot of stuff out there that makes it like easy, like ClassPass, for example. Like it makes it easy to try new, different types of, you know, if you're a Pilates girl, like you can do different Pilates studios. Right. You may meet different people, you know, at that specific location. Yeah. If you're going out, like try like a Thursday night or Wednesday night. Right. Instead of the same Friday, Saturday. Yeah. You know, like switch it up. I think it's good for our health in general, just to kind of like switch things up every once in a while. You don't have to always be very, very stagnant. I think you can meet people with similar interests who you may not have met, you know, before. Right. So.
And we also talk about getting outside of our comfort zone a lot. I know something that I've challenged myself with is like, try something new or different. Yeah. I know I was talking to you about like looking for a farmer's market, trying out a farmer's market. I think a pottery class would be pretty cool. I've never done that before.
Me too. I definitely think
that would be dope, right?
Yeah. Clay. Nah, I want to do that.
Yeah. I think sometimes we have a tendency, like you said, to just go with what we know. Like I found the dance class. I love that. I've been going to it. I found the skating rink. Like maybe I go to Cascade. It might be a little bit further out, but I mean, you could do that. Sometimes I do yoga at the Battery, which is right down the street. Right. But I'm sure there's other places that do yoga, like outdoor yoga and stuff like that when it gets nice. So I think just challenging yourself to, if there's a hobby that you already have, maybe look in a different location to do it. But if there's something that you haven't tried, like don't be afraid to do it. Yeah.
Because you never know. You may really find something you enjoy.
But another one that I thought of is like people who may be in school as well. I know in a prior episode, I had mentioned like this just kind of seems to be the age of the pivot. Yeah. Especially with millennials. I have my own little theory, I think, because for a long time, we just followed whatever we thought our parents or our family members or whatever thought was best for us. The right and it worked to do. Right. And it worked for a little bit, but then you're like, wait, no, like, what am I really passionate about? What do I really want to do? And sometimes that calls for people to go back to school. So their schedule may be, you know, limited, basically because they're in class. They're trying to get assignments in, their workload. School is expensive. Let's start there. The materials that you need for school is expensive as well, which may cause people to have to draw back or say no or not be there as frequently as they want to. I think that's one to definitely keep in mind.
Yeah, that is a good point. You know, send them a quick note of encouragement if you know they have a exam coming up or whenever, you know, graduation does come or they get their certification, like, okay, let's go out. I'll take you out for some drinks or food or something, you know, like celebrate them. Right. Even though like school for you may have been a while ago and you probably don't ever want to touch school again. Like some people really, you know, want to pivot, like she said, try something new, get some more knowledge. So it's important for them to feel supported in that aspect. Right. Because I feel like, especially now, or when I say now, I mean kind of our age of like 30s and stuff. It's just not as centered as when we were early 20s. Like everybody, you know, that was the time where most people were in school. So it was all about like people supporting you. Do you need something from Sam's? You need some toilet, you know what I mean? Like when we get to this age where people still have those needs, are still in school, or going back to school, they may not have that just automatic like support like we did when we were, you know, a little bit younger. So
yeah, that's good to keep in mind.
I think one thing that's super important to keep in mind, is to be very cautious about comparing yourself. Because we always talk about comparison when it comes to like scrolling on social media, right? But like there are different stages of life and different accomplishments and stuff right around you, like in your friend group. Yeah. So you also have to be, you know, if you're the person in the group who is the only one without kids, like you have to try very hard to not like, dang, am I doing something wrong? Yeah. Like, am I behind? Ooh. I'm not in that position. Like, cussing me out. Should I be? You know? So like give yourself grace.
Dang, that makes me think of an Insecure.
Oh episode. Let's do it.
There's an episode where one of the 4 core friends is having a baby and they're at the baby shower. Yeah. And Issa and Molly are kind of having their own little moment off to the side. They've realized that the men that they once loved or were in love with, like that ship has sailed or whatever. And Molly is like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like Tiffany is over here on first baby and I can't even get first date down right. Yeah. But I mean, when you fast forward to the end of the show, you see that things naturally fall.
Exactly.
You know, in the timing that was right for them. And yesterday, I was on Facebook and there was like, you know how like people write a post and it's like, if this applies to you, like open this. Yeah. And in the comments, they'll have like words of encouragement or maybe like pick a color. Oh yeah. They give you like a little encouraging thing. There was one yesterday that I came across and it was like, if you're a millennial and you still don't quite feel like an adult, like open this. And in it was talking about like, don't compare, like, if you don't have children or if you're not a homeowner, or if you're not married or whatever, like, these are societal, like, expectations. But everybody's life ebbs and flows in different seasons differently. It was talking about the pivot, too. It was talking about being kind. It was talking about, like, finding therapy and giving yourself grace as you, like, unpack trauma and things like that. So I was like, dang, I kind of needed that a little bit. I needed to see that.
Came across at the right time. For
exactly.
Real. No, I do like that. I do like that. And I always try to look at it as like, I think society has given us goalposts, get a home, get married, have kids. But that don't necessarily have to be a goal. Like there are people who really would rather like puke than own a home. You know, like they just don't want that. And so that's not that, hey, it's a goal that they're not accomplishing. That's not even on their radar. It's not for them. You know, exactly. Same with kids, same with marriage, same with some crazy career goal of like getting to the C-suite or whatever. Like those are all very arbitrary things that like society tried to push on us. But those aren't necessarily goals. I feel like if that's what you want, it can be a goal. But if it's not something that you want, it's not a goal, so you can't be behind. Yeah. You know, like
you can't fail on something that you don't desire or want in the first place.
Exactly. So I think that's a good way to kind of look at that. It's like, I don't even want that. So how am I behind? Like I'm good on that. I'm glad that you like that and that's good for you. That's not on my bingo card.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, when it comes down to it, I think like when you take a step back, it's just really important to validate where folks are in life, even if it looks different from where you might be. Make sure that people feel seen. Make sure people feel heard. Make sure that people feel appreciated. Life is freaking hard, man. Life is tough. There's a lot of joy, but there's a lot of obstacles that come along with that. And when people reach, you know, different milestones or they're in different phases or spaces, like find ways to celebrate that, find ways to emphasize like how proud you are of people.
Underrated. Underrated.
You can never like say enough.
Like,
how proud you. How proud you are of someone. You know, it's giving people their flowers while they're still here. Giving grace to like it's a lot of people trying to figure things out that I'm sure will never be on my radar.
Yeah. So they don't text you back within an hour? Yeah, girl, it's all right.
Come on now.
It's okay.
Come on now.
That's true. Just
There's a lot going on around here.
Yeah. Don't take stuff to heart when, you don't know what people are juggling or dealing with. So that's good. That's a great Mocha message.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, we're at the end of season 5, guys. So
what?
Mind blow emoji. Like I can truly remember setting up in my first apartment, like audio only.
Yep.
We
didn't even live here yet.
Yeah. Filming.
Traveling about 2 hours.
Yeah. Just recording that first
get
episode.
It to work.
And so I am just super grateful for you, Jackie.
Oh man.
Yeah, she knows coming.
I didn't.
Nah, I'm super, super grateful to have you as my co-host, man. Because the journey has been crazy. It's been fun. It's been funny. Yeah. So I'm glad like we rocking like we have.
For sure.
5 seasons in. I hope for 30 more, Like let's see how far we can take it. So
shoot, maybe Issa Rae might pick us up one day.
We're gonna answer.
But yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, we both have grown a lot.
Yeah.
Like through this experience. Yeah. Man, we've grown a lot individually and as like a pod and a collective.
Man.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, we appreciate you guys, our Mocha Mavens, always. All of the, the feedback, the, hey, I listened to this, I really like this part or whatever. That does not go unnoticed, guys.
It doesn't.
I promise you, we really, really appreciate any and everybody who takes a listen or watches any of our content. So we just super appreciative of y'all, and we continue to do this for y'all, man.
Yes. You could be anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
But you're here with us.
Thank you. So,
thank you, y'all.
We'll continue to bring, all the good topics. We continue, I think from the very first episode, we told y'all we wanted to feel like, you just got a warm cup of coffee or something.
Right.
Just sit down talking to your friends.
Yeah.
So we want to continue to do that. We want to continue to uplift our community, continue to uplift other Black women. And I think we're going to sign off.
Oh, man. a little sad.
I know, me too. This is a very good season. Very good season. So, we will catch you guys in the beginning of season 6.
All right. See you.